Hare Krishna, dear devotees, let's chant Japa Vachala Prabhupada. Nam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminati Namine, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. 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 Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिके। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा, कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let's recite Bhagavad Gita Shloka. We are reciting today is Monday, so we'll be learning a new verse. The last one that we memorized was 10:34. So let me see what's the next memorization verse. So next is 1039. So let's recite Bhagavad Gita 1039.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisance.
Sorry, I'm late.
So we'll begin. So please repeat. This is Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, text 39. Yacchapi sarva bhutanam bijam tad ahamarjuna
Bijam Taramah
natad asti vinayasyan
Natasti Vinayatsa
maya bhutam characharam
Maya Bhutam Characharam
yacchapi sarva bhutanam
Yachapi Sarvabhutanam
bijam tad aham arjuna
Bijam Taraham Arjuna
natad asti vinayasyan
Natadasti Vinayatsa
maya bhutam characharam
Maya Bhutam Characharam
yacchapi sarva bhutanam
Yachapi Sarvabhutanam
bijam tad aham arjuna
Bijam Taramah
natad asti vinayasyan
Tadasti Vinayatsa
maya bhutam characharam.
Maya Bhutam Characharam.
Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences.
I am the generating seed
There
of
is
all
no being, moving or non-moving,
being
that can exist without me.
that exists without.
Okay, so Aditi Lata Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yachapi sarvabhutanam bhajam tad
Bijam.
tad aham arjuna na tad asi vinasyan
Natad asti vinayasyan.
na tad asti vinayasyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-living, that can exist without me.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tad ahamarjuna na tad asti vinayasyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Does anyone else need to go first? Okay. Achit Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Mataji.
Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tad aham arjuna na tad asti vinayasyan maya bhutam characharam. Translation broken by Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Thank you. Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Mataji. Achinta Dev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat. Yacchapi sarva bhutanam
Yachapi sarva bhutanam
bijam tad aham arjuna
nijam tad aham arjuna
tad natad asti vinayasyan
natad asti vinayasyan
maya bhutam characharam.
maya bhutam characharam. Translation. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, next, Isha. Not logged in. Krishna Shish.
Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadam arjuna atadasti vinayatsya maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me.
Madhava and Rasapriya.
Yatsapi sarvabhutanam bijam tad aham arjuna natad asti vina yatsyam maya bhutam saracharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me.
Sapriya.
यच्चापि सर्वभूतानां बीजं तद् अहम् अर्जुन न तदस्ति विना यत्स्यां स्यान् मया भूतं चराचरम्. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me.
Next, Isha Mataji. Oh, Isha. Okay, sorry.
यच्चापि सर्वभूतानां बीजं तद् अहम् अर्जुन न तद् अस्ति विना यत्स्यान् मया भूतं चराचरम्. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me.
Isha Mataji and Medha.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tat aham arjuna na tad asti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Translation. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving that can exist without me. Thank you, Mataji. Mera is running late, Mataji.
Okay. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tad asti vina yatsyan maya bhutam characharam bhutam characharam. A translation. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me.
Yes.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Saujanya Mataji and Prajna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat pranams. All glories to
Dandavat
the
Pranam Mataji. Unable to hear you. I think we lost your voice.
Oh, I'll repeat man. Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tad aham arjuna na tad asti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Prajna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna nataras asti vinayatyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vindhyavali Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tad aham arjuna na tadasti vinayakshyan maya bhutam characharam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. Therefore, there is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Okay, so why we are reading this verse? This is the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And in the 10th chapter, the title of this chapter is The Opulences of the Supreme. And the chapter begins with Krishna telling Arjun, here again, Arjuna, I'm going to tell you once again about my opulences. Nobody can know me, not even the demigods or the great rishis can understand me. Like that. Then Arjuna said, after that, talking about his opulences, Krishna, after giving that introduction, begins to tell about his opulences. The Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Ham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samamita. Right? Like that. So there Krishna is talking about his Aishwarya. So the introduction to that was, who can understand this Aishwarya Gyan? Right? And why it is required for sadhana bhaktas, all that comes in the initial verses before to that. After speaking those 4 verses, when Krishna speaks about his opulences and who is eligible, only a devotee is eligible to understand Krishna's Aishwarya Gyan, right? Now, Arjuna says, Param Dhama, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. This is his realization. You are the supreme Brahman, right? You are the supreme abode. You are the purest. Anyone who thinks about you also becomes pure. The body is transcendental. You are the original person, like that. And this is not just my statement, my realization. This is accepted by great authorities like Asita, Devala, Vyasa, Narada. And now the supreme authority, you yourself are also saying this, like that. Then Arjun said, Sarvametadritam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidur devana danava. Same thing what Krishna said, Arjun is also saying, but nobody can know you. Neither the demigods nor the demons can know you. You are the supreme. Still nobody is able to understand you. No one can know you. You're right. Nobody knows you. And then Arjun is asking, I want to hear about your opulences again. Please tell me. And then, how can I remember you in this world? How can I see you in this world? So this is going to help one in their sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti means with faith, one renders devotional service. What is the faith? That this is what I am supposed to do. All the other activities are secondary. The primary activity for a human being is to come out of this ignorance. Actually, Sonia Mataji, I forgot, but after this explanation, you'll recite the verse. And then, so Krishna then begins to speak about his opulences. What is his position, right? Different things, Krishna says. So, his vibhutis, Krishna speaks of his vibhutis. For example, what are his vibhutis? Of course, what we read was that I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence among women. That's one of his vibhutis. Like this, Krishna speaks of so many of his vibhutis in this 10th chapter. After
Before
Arjun
the
says,
10th place,
then
generating
Yes, so that's today's verse. So that is after that. So now Krishna is coming to a conclusion. So first he gives a big Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuyah kathaya triptirhi shrinvato nasti me mritam. Arjun is asking, please explain again in detail your opulences. I want to hear. Then text 19, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, right? Then I will tell you of my manifestations, but only those that are prominent, because it is not possible for me to explain all of them, nor is it possible for you to hear all of them, because you don't have that much time nor that much ability to hear. And Krishna's opulences are unlimited. Ananta Sesh, Ananta, there's no limit for Ananta. Ananta Sesh himself is constantly speaking of the transcendental qualities, pastimes of Krishna. He has never been able to come to an end. Then who will speak? Ananta Sesh is the Lord's expansion, Supreme Lord's expansion. If Ananta Sesh is not able to come to an end, then which person can cover all the opulences of the Supreme Lord? And who has that much capacity to hear? Our life is after all so short, and in that also there is breaks, right? We are not continuously hearing 24 hours for all 100 years. Even if we heard, still it is not sufficient. That's why Krishna said, I'll tell you only of the prominent ones. And Krishna begins, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutashaya Sthitaha Aham Adishcha Madhyam Cha Bhutanam Anta Evahi. I am the beginning, middle and end of all creation. Whatever you see, it's me only. Me only means this is his vibhuti. It's a small portion of his potency, of his power, like that, of his energy. So a big list, Krishna says, right? Among priests, I am Brihaspati. Among generals, I am Kartikeya. Right? Among Vedas, I am Samaveda. Again, how to understand this? Among Mrigas, I am the lion. That means that opulence that you see in that particular, of all animals, the king of all animals is lion. Why is lion the king of all animals? It is so majestic, right? It has some very noble qualities. Even though it is an animal, the lion has some noble qualities. It will never touch anything which is eaten by anyone else, killed by another one. It won't touch, even though it's an animal. It will starve, but it will only eat what it has killed itself, like that. So then among Daityas, I am Prahlad, like that. So after giving the whole list, finally we learned Mrityu Sarva Haraschaham, Udbhavascha Bhavishyatam, right? I am the all devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. And of course, among women, I am fame, fortune, like that. So now this is the concluding verses. We have come to the conclusion now. So today's verse was text 39, Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna natad asti vina yatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, I am the generating seed of all existences. That means whether anything which is moving or non-moving, whatever you see here has no existence if it is not coming from me. What does that mean? Everything that you see is coming from him, and anything which is not directly coming from him, which is not created by him, has no existence. For example, Akasha Pushpa. Akasha Pushpa means flower in the sky. There's no existence of flower in the sky. You may say there is something, it is not created by Krishna, we don't see, but it has no existence. It has no existence. Like that. So anything which is not created by the Lord, whatever you see in this world, moving or non-moving, has its source in Krishna. It is the energy of Krishna. And if it does not have its connection with Krishna, if it is not created by Krishna, that means it has no existence. There is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without me. That's all. It's impossible for anything to exist without Krishna. So now we will read Srimad Bhagavatam. Sonia Mataji and Neelambari Mataji, you didn't recite the verse. Today is Monday. We started a new verse. So Sonia Mataji, go ahead, and then Neelamani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tad aham arjuna na tadasti vina yatyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Neelambari Radha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tad aham arjuna na tad asti vinayatsyam maya bhutam characharam. Translation. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Usha Mataji, is Medha there?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tad aham arjuna na tad asti vina yatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Translation. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without me.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So, in conclusion, this and the next two verses are the conclusion of this chapter. So, after all that Krishna is saying, there's nothing which exists without me. You want to know of my opulences? Whatever you see in this world, whether moving or non-moving, the cause for its existence is me. Nothing can exist without me. Everything that you see is actually resting on my energy only. It's all coming from my energy. That's the point. So let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 8. The sons of Sagara meet Kapil Muni. Yes? That's the title. Yes. The sons of Sagara meet Lord Kapil Dev. Lord Kapil Dev. So we are reading about the prayers offered by Amshuman to Kapil Dev. So we read only one verse yesterday. I'll just read text 21 and 22 for your recap. Amshuman said, "My Lord, even Lord Brahma is to this very day unable to understand your position, which is far beyond himself. He's unable to understand your position either by meditation or by mental speculation. That means through the process of jnana and yoga. Meditation means yoga, mental speculation means jnana. So either by the process of jnana or yoga, what to speak of ordinary people, even Lord Brahma himself is unable to understand you. If he took that path, by that path to this day he is not able to understand you. Your position, which is far beyond his position, and he is the best person in this universe, the most advanced person in this universe. Amongst all conditioned souls, he is the most advanced person. But your position is far beyond his position, and he cannot understand your position by following the process of jnana or yoga. To this day, he is not able to understand by these processes. So if he is not able to understand, so what to speak of others like us, who have been created by Brahma in various forms as demigods, animals, human beings, birds and beasts. We are completely in ignorance. Therefore, how can we know you who are the transcendence? That means we are all under the clutches of the modes. How can someone who is in the, under the clutches of the modes know you who are transcendental to the modes? It's not possible. Even the most advanced material person cannot understand, then what to speak of others who are in the lower modes. Text 22, this was yesterday's verse. My Lord, you are fully situated in everyone's heart, but the living entities covered by the material body cannot see you, for they are influenced by the external energy conducted by the three modes of material nature. You are there in everyone's heart, right? You are there, just like those who are with you all the time, you'll be seeing them, you'll be knowing them, isn't it? In a family, husband and wife, children and parents, if you're living together all the time, you will know each other in and out. I mean, more than you would know people from outside, because you're seeing them all the time. Can anyone be, even if you compare with the super soul, then you are more with the super soul than even with your spouse or your children or anyone else, because when you sleep you're not even with them, you are somewhere else, but the super soul is with you 24/7, life after life. The super soul is with you, so he is the closest person to us. Still we don't know that he's even there, and there's so many philosophies, right? Even those who take to transcendence, they fail. Those who are following the Jnana path, they fail to recognize that there is Paramatma also in the heart. They mistake that I am that. They realize Atma and they think I am the Supreme. I have realized the Supreme. There's actually two. In the 13th chapter we see Kshetra, Kshetragya. So Kshetragya means the knower of this body, of the field. There's two of them. There's Atma and there's Paramatma. But the Jnanis, they fail to recognize Paramatma. They only recognize Brahman and that's it. So that's what is being said here. Amshuman is saying that, my Lord, although you are within everyone's heart, whether he is a karmi, whether he is a jnani, yogi, whoever he may be, and what to speak of, just karmi, jnani, yogi, even by animals, insects, in everyone's heart, the Lord is there as Paramatma. But still, nobody is able to see you. Why? Why we are not able to see him? Because he is transcendental. Of course, we are also transcendental. Atma is transcendental to this material world and we are Atmas. Nevertheless, because of our ahankara, false ego, we start identifying with this material body. Material body, two types, gross and subtle body. We start identifying the self with this material body. And because of that influence, identifying ourselves as body, we are not able to see that which is transcendental. So Amshuman is saying, no one is able to see you. Even though you are the closest person to everyone, still nobody is able to see you, because they are influenced by the external energy conducted by the three modes of material nature. Their intelligence being covered by Sattva Guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna, they can see only the actions and reactions of these three modes of material nature. So that point was discussed elaborately in yesterday's class, so you can refer to that. How our intelligence, mind, senses, everything is made of the material energy, and material energy means the three modes. Yes. So, and everything else within this world is also the three modes. The sense objects are also made of the three modes. So with material senses, you can only perceive material things. You cannot perceive spiritual things. That's why you're not able to perceive Paramatma. Because of the actions and reactions of the mode of ignorance, whether the living entities are awake or sleeping, they can see only the workings of material nature. They cannot see your Lordship. That's complete. One important point that Srila Prabhupada said in that purport is that we are contaminated by these modes. Actually, we are pure soul, but we are contaminated. So what do you do when a place is contaminated? You have to clean it, isn't it? You have to clean it. When there's dirt, you have to clean it. So now our consciousness is contaminated by the modes. So how to clean it? Prabhupada said externally you have to clean by taking bath 3 times a day. Internally you have to clean by chanting Hare Krishna 24 hours constantly. Chant Hare Krishna constantly. Externally you take bath 3 times a day. All the members of the Krishna consciousness movement, if they follow this principle, they will understand everything very soon. You'll make progress and you'll go back to Godhead. If you do these two things.
Chetodharpanamarjanam bhavamaha dhavagni nirvapana.
That is chanting. Chetodharpanamarjanam. Correct. So the mirror of the heart becomes cleansed by this chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But Srila Prabhupada stresses both external and internal cleanliness. Internal cleanliness, of course, is very, very important by chanting Hare Krishna. But at the same time, external cleanliness is also required. Like that. Okay. So now we'll do the next verse. Please tell me who's supposed to read today. Who read yesterday? Priyanka Haripriya Mataji, right? Saujanya Mataji, did you also read yesterday?
I didn't read yesterday, Mataji. Did I?
You didn't read?
No,
Then you
Mataji.
read.
What is the last verse, Mataji?
Let me go share it with you.
Mataji, you
I think I
said
didn't read.
one more person before Priyanka Mataji is supposed to start. I think Neelambari Mataji. No. Neelambari Mataji finished the purport yesterday.
Mataji finished, huh?
Yeah.
This is the
Neelambari Mataji read.
Yes. Neelambari Mataji finished. I didn't read actually yesterday.
I didn't read. Okay, fine. So you'll read now. Yeah. Text 23. Tam tvam aham jnana ghanam svabhava vridhvasta maya guna bheda mohai tanandanadyai munibhir vibhavyam katham vimuda paribhavayami. Mataji, Priyanka Haripriya.
Oh my Lord, sages freed from the influence of the three modes of material nature, sages such as the four Kumaras, Sanandan, Sanatan, are able to think of you, who are concentrated knowledge. Okay, yeah. But how can an ignorant person like me think of you?
Yes, thank you. Oh my Lord, sages freed from the influence of the three modes of material nature. So, the four Kumaras are also actually incarnations. In what way? They are like the Shakti-avesha avatars. That means the Lord's Shakti is invested in a living entity. That's Shakti-avesha. Does anyone know the difference between an avatar, Shakti-avesha avatar, and a Vibhuti? What's the difference? Lord Indra is a Vibhuti, right? So, but what is a Shakti-avesha avatar? Like the Kumaras, and then there's a Vibhuti. What's the difference? Nobody knows. Okay. So Shakti-avesha avatar, actually Shakti-avesha avatar also has a portion of the Lord's potency invested. But relatively compared to Shakti-avesha avatar and Vibhuti, Vibhuti is a very small fragment, very small percentage. Shakti-avesha is relative to Vibhuti, it's much more power. That's all. So Vibhuti is like very small, insignificant, small portion of the Lord's power. That is Vibhuti. So when Krishna says, among all elephants, I am Airavata, that means Airavata is invested with his power, additional power, extra power. His power is, that's why it is so magnificent, like that. And all the other vibhutis that the Lord mentions. Vibhuti means that's the Lord's potency, his Shakti, but in a small percentage. A Shakti Avesha avatar. Avatar means compared to Vibhuti, it's much more power is invested. And in these avatars, you have specific purpose for which the power is invested. For example, Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj is invested with Palana Shakti as a ruler. Ritu Maharaj is also counted in the incarnations of the Lord. What type of incarnation is he? Shaktya Avatar. He's invested with Palana Shakti. Similarly, the 4 Kumaras are also Shaktya Avatars. What is the power that is invested in them? Jnana Shakti. Like that. So there are many others, Shaktya Avatars. So there's a particular Shakti which is invested in them. So here we are reading about the 4 Kumaras.
Mataji, Vibhuti Avatar, what is the, can you give some?
Vibhuti means small portion of the Lord's potency is invested in a living entity. Shaktiavesh Avatar means more potency is invested in a living entity. Percentage of potency is different. Vibhuti means small potency. Avatar means more potency of the Lord is there.
Okay, but Vibhuti, is there any example? Can you give any?
Example, Indra. Indra is a Vibhuti amongst all demigods. I mean, this whole 10th chapter I can share with you just now. Like all the, whatever Krishna says in the 10th chapter, they're all Vibhutis.
Oh. Mataji, when you asked Vibhuti, I don't, the Vibhuti, the ash.
Yeah, that's what.
Vibhuti.
That is not.
Oh, that is the.
That is
this
different.
Is T.
The, oh my God.
That is Vibhuti and Vibhuti.
Mataji, Vindhyavali Mataji. Amongst Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of course, among Adityas, I am Vishnu. Vishnu is, of course, the Supreme Lord. So, Adityas means sons of Aditi. Who are the sons of Aditi? The demigods are the sons of the Aditi. So, amongst the Adityas, I am Vishnu. One of the sons of Aditi is Vamandev, right? Among Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun, right? There are so many different types of lights. Of that, I am the sun. The sun is also Vibhuti. What is that Vibhuti? The power of light, the amount of light that is there in the sun, it's not there in others. So, that why the sun has so much light? Because it has that potency, extra potency of the Supreme Lord.
Little bit of potency of.
A little bit means compared to Shaktiavesh Avatar, it is little bit. But if you compare to this material world, it's more than others. Yeah, like that. It's a relative term.
Now I got it.
So all this is Vibhutis. Whatever you see in this 10th chapter of the Vedas and some
plenary portion.
Amsha is different. Amsha Avatar means.
Okay. Plenary portion means Ansha Avatar. Plenary.
Yes. Yeah, plenary means Amsha. Amsha Avatar. So Amsha means that is himself. So the difference between Shaktiavesha and plenary portion or Amsha and Shaktiavesh, the difference is Shaktiavesh is a Jivatma. A Jivatma who is invested with the Lord's power, potency. That is Shaktiavesh. Amsha is directly the Lord himself with a certain portion of his Shakti. So like you have Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva. Shaktiavesh Avatar is still a Jiva Tattva. But Amsha, plenary portion is Vishnu Tattva. That's why you call plenary. Plenary means the absolute. Clear? Just like you have Lord Narayan is a plenary portion. Rama, Narasimha, Vamana, Varaha. They're all plenary portions. They are not Shaktiavesha avatars. But that also means, so the Lord is one. The Lord is not many. He's only one. But example is like a peacock feather or sometimes a silk sari, which we can all relate to, right? A silk sari, you tilt it and you see a certain color, you tilt it in a different angle, a different color. There are 2 colors in that, sometimes more also, right? So in one angle you see it will be yellow, another angle you see it looks pink, like that. Similarly, the Lord is one, but from one angle he appears like Nrsimhadev, from another angle he appears like Ramchandra, from another angle he appears like Varahadev. All qualities are there, but who is the complete Bhagavan, Swayam Bhagavan? That is Krishna. But Everyone is there. He's only one person. So when there's a plenary expansion, he's only manifesting one angle of Lord Nishingadev's, his quality. Then it's Lord Nishingadev. Like that. Okay.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
All right. So let's go back to Bhagavatam. So we're reading about the 4 Kumaras who are Shaktavesha avatars. O my Lord, sage is free from the influence of the 3 modes of material nature. Sages such as the 4 Kumaras are able to think of you. Yes, why they are able to think of you? And think of
Jnana Shakti.
They are Shaktavesha avatar. Yes, they are Shaktavesha avatars. But they are able to think of you who are concentrated knowledge. The point here is anyone who has transcended the 3 modes can see the Lord, can know the Lord, can understand the Lord. But if somebody has not transcended the modes, he cannot understand the Lord. So the point that Amshuman is making is, my uncles didn't recognize you as a Supreme Lord because they have not transcended the modes. And everyone in this world is in that condition. Unless they receive your special mercy, how they can know you like that. So he's building on that point only. So Amshuman is saying, great sages like the Kumaras are able to know you. How they are able to know you? Because they have transcended the 3 modes. But how can ignorant person like me know you or think of you? And think again, they're able to think of you means who are you? You are concentrated knowledge, right? Sat, Chit, Ananda. Chit means what? Chit. Chit means full knowledge, it is said. Conscious, right? Chit means conscious. Is conscious of everything. Abhigya, right? He's aware of everything. He knows everything. Is concentrated knowledge. The Supreme Lord is concentrated knowledge. And who is able to know him? Who is able to understand him? The Kumaras are able to understand him because they have transcended the 3 modes. One more thing that we have to note whenever we read the prayers of different personalities in the Bhagavatam, each person prays according to his level of advancement. So the prayers by the pure unalloyed devotees will be different.
Like
we are all pure unalloyed devotees.
We are our own capacity.
Right. Everyone has their own capacity. But you see, like, that's why bhakti is of types. There's not only one type of bhakti. Like when you buy rice, you have different varieties of rice. It's not like there's only one type of rice. But it's all still rice, but there are different types. You have the fine rice and you have the motor grain rice, like different types of rice.
Each one will choose different rice.
Yeah. According to your taste, you choose whichever one you want, like that. So similarly, bhakti is also many types. Not everyone goes for pure unalloyed devotion. Again, why they don't go for pure unalloyed devotion? Because of their particular level of advancement, right? So somebody, knowledge also, that's right, right? Somebody doesn't know, they don't know. So based on, so if you have proper knowledge, then you don't have, that's why Shraddha means it's based on knowledge. You get full Shraddha when you get that knowledge. And knowledge, how you'll get, not academically, you won't get that knowledge. That knowledge is transmitted from the hearts of those who have that knowledge. That's when you can get Shraddha. You have to hear Bhagavatam from those who have it, that type of Shraddha in the association of devotees. Then you'll get Shraddha. And when someone gets Shraddha, he will do only pure devotional service. He won't do any other type of devotion. Until he gets full Shraddha, he may do other types. So the point here is, we may not calculate everyone as, we may not put everyone in the same basket. We will see prayers by Lord Indra, we will see prayers by Daksha, we will see prayers by Gajendra, prayers by Kunti Maharani. They are all not of the same type of devotee. There are different categories of devotees. So there's, Yeah, sadhu prakara, different prakaras, different types of sadhus, and according to their level, their prayers will also be there. For example, when Lord Nishingadev appeared, the demigods were coming and offering prayers. They were saying, "Thank you for killing. This Hiranyakashipu was such a pain in our neck." That's their level. That's what they're saying. So now we are free from this headache. Now we can live peacefully. That's all they want, right? Not that. And Prahlad Maharaj's prayers are totally different because he's a pure devotee, like that. So here we are just reading Amshuman's prayers. So Amshuman is praying here. What is Amshuman saying? They are not able to think of you who are concentrated knowledge, right? But how can an ignorant person like me think of you, right? So purport after Priyanka Haripriya Mataji, Saujanya Mataji, right?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. The word Swabhava refers to one's own spiritual nature or original constitutional position. When situated in this original position, the living entity is unaffected by the modes of material nature. Sa gunan samat samati samatitya
Samatitiyaitan
samatityetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Bhagavad Gita 14th chapter 26 shloka. As soon as one is freed from the influence of the three modes of material nature, he is situated on the Brahman platform. Vivid examples of personalities thus situated are the four Kumaras and Narada. Such authorities can by nature understand the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but a conditioned soul not freed from the influence of material nature is unable to realize the Supreme. In Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter 45 shloka, therefore Krishna advises Arjuna, Traigunya Vaishya,
Vishaya Veda.
Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. One must rise above the influence of the three modes of material nature. One who stays within the influence of the three material modes is unable to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is the thing. So again, according to context, we should understand. So here the context is you should rise above the three modes. That's what is being said. Who can understand Krishna? One who rises above the three modes. Now, is that sufficient? Simply rising above the three modes, can you understand Krishna? Not exactly. So that we saw in the 10th chapter. You need ultimately to understand Krishna. Rising above the three modes is not enough. First of all, you have to do your devotional service, right? Actually, you don't even, by doing pure devotional service, you get everything. You will rise above the three modes, and then you will please Krishna, and Krishna will show his mercy, and then you will understand Krishna. Everything will happen. But to do pure devotional service, you need Shraddha. You need Shraddha. But those who take other paths other than bhakti, for them, first of all, you have to, purify yourself before you can even start the path. So they have to do Nishkama Karma Yoga. Nishkama Karma Yoga. Right? So the endeavor is to somehow or other rise above the three modes. So by doing Nishkama Karma Yoga, now you are in the modes of passion and ignorance, you'll come to the mode of goodness. That's what happens by Nishkama Karma Yoga. In the mode of goodness, you'll realize I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. And then from that point onwards, you will begin your Jnana sadhanas. You can even begin your Ashtanga Yoga sadhanas. There is a time in between where you will be doing both, because there's no guarantee you're not going to be steady in Jnana. So you have to continue doing Nishkama Karma Yoga and practicing your Jnana sadhanas or Ashtanga Yoga sadhanas side by side. And finally, when you become, then at one point, right, avidya is completely removed and vidya is formed. Vidya means, again, vidya is made of the mode of goodness, where you are able to see yourself as Atma. And then you can stop, right? You can give up all activities, your karma and everything. Nishkam karma yoga also you can give up. You can do simply jnana, right? Meditation, trying to realize Brahman, like that. So they proceed that way. But for that, you have to, if you want to realize the Supreme, you have to transcend the modes.
But it is already said in the beginning itself. By jnana and yoga, even Brahma cannot know you. You means who here? Bhagavan. There is Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. By yoga, one may be able to understand Paramatma. Paramatma means what? The super soul in my heart, or the super soul of the whole universe. Paramatma is also two types, Vyashti and Samishti. Vyashti means Paramatma in the individual soul, individual heart, and Samishti means of the whole universe. You have Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. Yogis meditate on both. Those who are not so advanced in the initial stages, they meditate on Samishti Paramatma. That means they see everything as parts of the body of the Paramatma. Whatever the sky, the trees, in that way, whatever things they see in connection with the Supreme Lord, adjusting their mind. By the way, this yoga process and jnana process, they are quite mechanical. You have to forcibly control your mind, your senses, and then you have to focus. Very difficult. Kleshodikataras tesham avyaktasakta chetasam. Krishna says, Klesha, it is filled with difficulties. Because it is filled with difficulties, there's always danger that you can fall down. There's no guarantee that you will get the result. Jnana and yoga paths. But bhakti, in bhakti, because you're taking shelter of the Lord, He will assure you, right? But we have to do bhakti, that's the point. So coming back here, the word svabhava refers to one's own spiritual nature or original constitutional position. Okay, we are spirit souls, but spirit soul's position is what? A servant of Krishna. Today morning also I was listening to Srila Prabhupada's lecture. Prabhupada says there is first class rascal, second class rascal and third class rascal. Other than bhaktas, everyone is a rascal. So a yogi is a first class rascal, a jnani is a second class rascal, and a karmi is a third class rascal. Why? If you don't take to devotional service means what? He is the master, I am his servant. I am the servant of the Supreme Lord. But if you are doing yoga without that understanding that I am a servant of the Lord, but you're simply taking to the process, right? This, that, and then even you're doing dhyana on Paramatma, and then you get all these siddhis, still you're a first class, but still you're a rascal. So only bhaktas, this is said again and again, only devotees.
Yogi and who else? Yogi and who else?
Yogi, Jnani, Karmi.
Okay.
Yogi means Ashtanga Yogi. Okay. Exactly like what Amshuman also said. By Jnana and Yoga, nobody can know you. One can know you only by Bhakti. Because when they do Bhakti, they will get your mercy. By your mercy, they will be enlightened. That's the point. So, our Swabhava is what? Our original constitutional position. When we are situated in that position, what is our original constitutional position? To be a servant of the Lord. When we are situated in that position, then immediately we transcend the three modes. Hare Krishna. Then you immediately transcend the three modes. If you are situated, so when you are rendering devotional service, you transcend the three modes. Sagunan samati tyaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Avyabhicharini bhakti means ananya bhakti. Anyone who is doing avyabhichari bhakti, then Sagunan samati tyaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Immediately he transcends the three modes. And then when you transcend the three modes, you are able to understand the Lord. That's what is said here, right? Amshuman is saying, unless one transcends the three modes, he won't be able to know you. It's not that as soon as you transcend, then you're able to know the Lord. Not exactly. There's a process there. When the Lord shows his mercy, so the details are given, right? When the Lord shows his mercy, he reveals himself, then you will know. But the basic prerequisite is you have to transcend the three modes. How will you transcend the three modes? Do you have to do something else to transcend the three modes first and then you will do bhakti? No need. No need. You do only bhakti. Bhakti will give you everything. Bhakti will help you to transcend the three modes. It will help you in everything. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to do anything else. And when one gets this type of faith, then he is eligible to do bhakti, pure devotional service. He is convinced that if I simply have to do bhakti, and bhakti means what? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Any one, you don't have to do all also. You do any one, or two, or three, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, whatever. Any one you do, or 2, 3, 4 also. But you have to do constantly bhakti. When will you do like that? When you get this faith that I don't need to do anything else. Bhakti is so powerful. Bhakti can give me everything. Whatever I desire, I can get by bhakti. I simply have to surrender to the Lord and I have to do only bhakti. And then when you say surrender, now what does surrender mean? That's the next question. Sharanagati, right? There are 6 principles. Anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikulyasya vivarjanam. Anukulyasya, you will accept that which is favorable for rendering devotional service and you will reject that which is unfavorable for devotional service. This is a sign of Sharanagati. Anything which is unfavorable for devotional service, even though you are attached to it, you give it up. This is called surrender. And anything which is favorable for devotional service, even if you don't like, for example, let's say you don't like to chant, you don't have the patience to chant 16 rounds every day, still you will do it. This is called surrender. Because this is favorable for devotional service. Anukulyasya sankalpaha, with determination you will do that which is favorable for devotional service. Pratikulyasya vivarjanam, that which is not favorable, bad association, at one point may have been your best friend or best relative, but that association is pulling me down in devotional service. Vivarjanam, you give up that association. Why? Because that's not favorable for devotional service. So that's just the beginning, like that. And then as you progress, surrender symptoms. Rakshishyati iti vishwasaha. You will have full faith that Krishna will protect me under all circumstances. My master, my only protector is Krishna. No one else is my protector. My husband, my father, my country, my community, my bank balance, my health insurance, the society, government, nobody is my protector. My only protector is Krishna. This is Sharanagati. Not only that, Mare Krishna, Rakhe Krishna. If Krishna wants to kill me, what can I do? He is my protector, but if my protector only decides to kill me, I have nowhere else to go. He can deal with me in whatever way he likes. This is Sharanagati. Right? And Karpanya means being becomes very, very meek and humble. That you can do with me whatever you like, my Lord. You can do with me. Ashlishyava padaratam pinashtumam adarshanan marmahatam karotua yatha tathava vidadati lampato matprana nathastu saevanapam. You can deal with me. You can just crush my heart. You can just do whatever you like with me. But you will eternally be my master. Karpanya. Very, very meek and humble. This is a sign of Sharanagati. And Sharanagati is a symptom of full faith. When one gets full faith, this is, he'll have Sharanagati. And when one has Sharanagati, he is qualified for Shuddha Bhakti. Then he will not do anything except Shuddha Bhakti. He'll do only Shuddha Bhakti all the time. So that is our aspiration. We want to go there. We want to do Shuddha Bhakti. So yes, that doesn't mean we are not doing Bhakti now. Please don't get disappointed or discouraged. We are also doing Bhakti. It's a different prakara, different type, different level of Bhakti. It's not yet Shuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti begins after Sharanagati. So we should try to aspire and we should endeavor for Sharanagati. How do we endeavor for Sharanagati? That will happen when you get faith. How to get faith? You have to hear from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, more and more, go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Read, hear, in the association of devotees, render devotional service, chant Hare Krishna. Then, by the mercy of those pure devotees who have that faith, then we can also get that faith and we can move towards Sharanagati and then begin Ananya Bhakti. And once we begin Ananya Bhakti, Mam Chayo Avyabhicharini Bhakti, we will do. Bhakti Yogena Sevate Sagunan Samatityetan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpa. We don't have to try separately like the Gyanis try for Brahman realization or the yogis try. We don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do yogasanas. You don't have to, what else, whatever other things you do, acquire so much, meditate that I'm not this body, right? Put yourself like cold water, and then surround yourself by heat in the summer and take ice cold baths in the winter, just to tell yourself, to convince yourself that you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. The spirit soul is not affected by the conditions of this material world, should not be. These are the practices of the Gyanis. They really put their bodies through hardships, difficulties, just so that they can make their hearts like stone, impervious to any emotions or anything. We don't have to do any of that. That is Jnana Sadhana. We don't need Jnana Sadhana. We don't need Yoga Sadhana. All we need is Bhakti. But to do that Bhakti, you need Shraddha. You need faith. That this Bhakti alone is capable of giving me everything. I don't have to do anything outside of Bhakti. So, is studying Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Jnana? What do you think? Is studying Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam Jnana or Bhakti?
Bhakti.
Bhakti. Can you tell me why?
Because we're not listening to Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita to know some science. This is mainly to know Krishna and to get connected with Krishna and how we can know him better to serve him. It's not for our, it's not like when I study some course, then I'm getting a knowledge, but that's not allowing me to connect to Krishna. Whereas here, we are lot of direct, indirect advantages that are required.
Yeah. Madhav. Connecting to Krishna Bhagavan. That's why it is Bhakti. Yes. That's the answer. What Mataji said also. Why it is not Jnana, why it is Bhakti? Because it is related to Krishna. That's all. Simple. Anything which is related to Krishna is Bhakti. Because Krishna is Bhagavan. Bhagavan, Bhakta and Bhakti. So this is related to Krishna. This knowledge, it's directly the words of Krishna and it is about Krishna and about Bhakti to Krishna by his Bhaktas. Bhagavatam is about Bhakti and it is the life of Bhaktas. So therefore, Bhagavatam is Bhakti. Reading Bhagavatam. And even if you are reading it to know, still it is Bhakti. Because Bhagavatam is Krishna. It is Krishna. So even if you are reading it to know, still it is Bhakti. Remember Sakshat Bhakti. Sakshat Bhakti means your consciousness and your awareness is not required. Sakshat means it is Bhakti anyway, whether you know it or you don't know it. That is why make it a habit to read Bhagavatam every day, to read Bhagavad Gita every day, to chant Hare Krishna every day. Whether you feel like it or not, just do it because it is still Bhakti. Saujanya Mataji and then Usha Mataji.
Mataji, I remembered one more thing. 1.1.20, the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, when sages were telling. So that just happened on Saturday or weekly satsang. That's how I remembered. They say that they're never tired of knowing about Krishna and his pastimes And then why? Because Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that only when you listen to my pastimes, I will, I'm forgetting the right word. Because we listen to the pastimes not just to know Krishna, but he will help us to get closer to him when we know him more, when we listen about him. I don't know if I'm telling the right thing, but suddenly that context remembered.
Shrunvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam. That one you're telling? By hearing about Krishna, Krishna enters the heart and he clears your heart.
No, that is
that
Bhagavatam shloka. But then Prabhuji also quoted 2 shlokas from from
Tesham
Bhagavad Gita.
Satatayuktanam Bhajatam Pritipurvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. And then Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam.
Matchita Matkat. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, they relish it. Yes, yes, Mataji. Thank you. Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So I was thinking in this context, when we read about the Lord in Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, like how you said there is 3 Antargata Shakti, like spiritual, material, and Tatastha Shakti. I think because this comes under the spiritual, when we read about the Lord or anything related to the Lord is considered as spiritual. So I was thinking about that, Mataji. So that's the reason, like.
No, not exactly. Because Mataji, when you say spiritual, even Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, all 3 are spiritual. Simply understanding that I am not this body, I am a spirit soul, that is also spiritual. But that does not come under bhakti. If you simply, so that comes under jnana. If you try to understand that, and you read those scriptures there, like Upanishads and Vedas, they tell about the Supreme Lord, not Supreme Lord, the absolute truth. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdite. That non-dual substance, right? The absolute truth is the non-dual substance, which is known by great learned persons as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So absolute truth is known by different people by different names. But if you are studying about Brahman or Paramatma, then you cannot call it bhakti. You're reading books about Brahman or that you are not this body, you are a spirit soul, then that may not be called bhakti. That is called jnana. Jnana means, literally, jnana means understand. Tvam padartha jnana, tat padartha jnana, aikya jnana. Okay? Jnana means three subjects. Tat, tvam, and aikya. Tat means that, means Brahman. Tvam means you and I, individual souls, right? And aikya means you and that are the same. This is jnana. This is jnana. So this is not bhakti. And we don't need jnana. We don't need jnana to do bhakti. What do we need? Bhakti. If you do simply bhakti, then jnana will come. What is that? Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojataha Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahaitukam. Janayati Ashu, very quickly. Janayati means it gives birth to, very quickly it gives birth to Vairagyam, Jnanam. You will get detachment and also knowledge as byproducts of Bhakti to Vasudeva. You don't have to separately endeavor for knowledge and detachment. If you simply do bhakti, bhakti itself will give you as byproducts. Not even the main result of bhakti is not knowledge and detachment. The main result of bhakti is prema. But as side byproducts, you get knowledge and detachment. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita is not bhakti because it is giving us spiritual knowledge. No. It is bhakti because it is directly spoken by Krishna. It is Krishna's words. It is in relation to Krishna, therefore it is bhakti. It is spoken, the words of Krishna, therefore it is bhakti. And why Bhagavatam is bhakti? It is about Krishna and about bhakti to Krishna and about devotees of Krishna So Krishna, his devotees and his devotional service, they all come together. You connect with any of them, it is still bhakti. Is that okay? Usha Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. So is bhakti spiritual, Mataji?
Yes, but bhakti is more than just spiritual. Spiritual is just one small aspect of that. But actually bhakti is much more than spiritual. So you cannot say spiritual means bhakti. You understand? Bhakti means spiritual. Spiritual is included under bhakti. But bhakti is not included under spiritual. You understand? Like you have a superset and a subset. So bhakti is it's like one stepping stone there, right? But when you do bhakti, let me put it this way. When you do bhakti, spirituality is included in bhakti. It is included in bhakti. But if you simply try for spirituality, it doesn't mean that automatically you're doing bhakti also. That's the difference. Bhakti means there has to be understanding of Bhagavan and service to Bhagavan. That is bhakti. And when you do that, even you may not be spiritual in the beginning. Spiritual means you don't have that realization and you are still having material desires, but nevertheless you start doing bhakti. Bhakti means what? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. With good faith, you go and you start rendering devotional service. You still have material desires and everything, never mind. But you're doing bhakti. By that bhakti, all spiritual knowledge will come in you. You will realize I'm not this body, this world is temporary, this wealth and this life, they are all temporary. My everything will come simply by doing bhakti. But if you are simply studying spirituality, I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, this world is temporary, you are studying like this separately, that will not automatically give you bhakti. How does bhakti come? Okay, let me ask. How does bhakti come to a person? When will one get bhakti?
When one gets that Shraddha.
How you will get Shraddha? Yes. Anyone can answer.
When we get in touch with the devotee or when we listen to
Yes. Sadhu Sangha. By the association of devotee, you get bhakti. That's all. So, simply by spiritual studies, you won't get bhakti. Bhakti will come when you meet a bhakta. But bhakti is already on the spiritual platform. That's understood. But you don't have to separately try for spirituality in order to get to bhakti. Not required. You can start wherever you are. You can start bhakti. Chant Hare Krishna. That's bhakti. And of course, that's what Srila Prabhupada first started. Chant Hare Krishna. And then while chanting Hare Krishna, gradually, as they are getting a taste a little bit, then he will put more conditions. Follow the 4 regulative principles. And eat only prasadam, don't eat outside, rise early in the morning, everything else gradually, because now you are in, you got a taste, so then all the other conditions will come. So bhakti, you can start right away, chanting Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Shravanam, Kirtanam mainly, you can start right away. Okay, Mataji? We'll take Neelamari Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I got the answer somewhat, but it's the thing, if we don't have the knowledge about whom I am doing the, whom it's bhakti will come, so we have to have some knowledge about the person, right? If we, once we are doing bhakti to Krishna or whoever it is, I have to know who is he. That's the knowledge, right? Why would I do that?
Not well. It is useful to have that knowledge. It is useful, but that's what I'm saying. When you say having knowledge about Krishna, then that is not knowledge. That is bhakti only, because it's related to Krishna. So when we read Bhagavad Gita and Krishna is telling about himself, who he is, these are his opulences, that's not knowledge. That is bhakti. That is knowledge, that is bhakti jnana, bhakti knowledge. Bhakti knowledge is bhakti. We are talking about here, Mataji, three paths are there: jnana, bhakti, and yoga. So jnana means getting knowledge, but jnana does not mean any knowledge is just jnana. The knowledge which is related to Bhagavan, you don't call it just jnana, it is bhakti jnana. Bhakti jnana is still bhakti, it's not jnana. I told you, jnana means tvam padartha jnana, tat padartha jnana, aikya jnana. Understanding that I am not this body, I am a spirit soul. Understanding that, that is Brahman, absolute. This is what are the, attributes of Brahman. What is Brahman has no attributes. So what is Brahman? What is the spirit soul? And how both are the same. This is jnana. We don't need this jnana. We don't need this jnana to do bhakti. What you are saying is, if I am doing bhakti, I must know about the person that I am worshipping. That is bhakti. That's part of bhakti. It's not separate jnana. But yeah, so then Prabhupada said we must study Bhagavad Gita, we must study Bhagavatam, right, every day. Is that jnana? No, it's bhakti only. It's not jnana. Studying, doing bhakti shastri, bhakti vaibhav, that's not jnana, it's bhakti.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's direct bhakti. So
because
you can
because I am liking to know about him. That's
good.
why I'm doing it. Yeah.
That's bhakti. That's
Yeah.
bhakti. If you're studying, doing courses on, anything related to Krishna, right? Even the books written by acharyas, it's all bhakti. Sakshat bhakti. Sakshat bhakti. So one thing I want to clarify, that at any point, of course, this is all bhakti. So it's already answered. That point is answered. That studying about Krishna, wanting to know about Krishna, it's bhakti. Without any fear, without any reservations, full-heartedly you can do that. It is bhakti. All that counts into the number of hours you're putting in direct devotional service. That is direct devotional service. Knowing more about Krishna from bona fide sources, authentic sources. This is Sakshat Bhakti, direct devotional service. Studying Bhagavad Gita, doing Bhakti Shastri, direct devotional service. It is direct devotional service. So it's not that you should only chant like Haridas Thakur 24 hours Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You may not be able to do that. But if you're doing 2 hours chanting, and if you're studying Bhagavad Gita for 3 hours, 4 hours, that means you got 6 hours of direct devotional service. So if you stretch it to 24 hours, then you're Ananya Bhakta. Or you're cooking for Krishna, you're worshipping Krishna, you're cleaning the temple. If you can do it like that, stretch it, right? And if all day you're engaged like this, it's very likely that at night also your mind is there only. Even if you're sleeping, still your mind is there only. 24 hours you'll be in Krishna consciousness. So when that happens, then you should understand, okay, now I'm entering into Ananya Bhakti. Because my mind is always absorbed, or if not mind, but at least physically I'm endeavoring to do, then also Ananya Bhakta. So yes, studying is pure devotional service. So one point is, to do bhakti, you don't need knowledge. I'm saying. It's not that first I have to know that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, only then I can do bhakti. It's not like that. But it is helpful. That is helpful. So there is, what is called Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Jnana Mishra Bhakti means you're doing bhakti, but in order to do bhakti, you take help from Jnana. Jnana means Tvam Padartha Jnana. What is this spirit soul? What is the nature of this spirit soul? Like Krishna tells in the 2nd chapter, the soul cannot be cut to pieces and this and that. But for us, when we hear from Bhagavad Gita, for us that is not Jnana, because it is directly coming from Krishna. We are hearing Krishna's words. For us, that is bhakti only, because we are hearing Krishna's words. But there are other, you hear from Vedas, and you can get this knowledge about the spirit soul from other sources. And if you feel it is essential for me to first understand, only then I'll be able to do bhakti, that simply shows that I still don't have full faith in bhakti. But it is okay, it's not bad. Jnana Mishra Bhakti is also fine. You take some help, sometimes devotees, when they're chanting Hare Krishna, You have to sit in the erect posture and in asana, close your eyes, like how they do yoga. They want to chant like that because that helps in better meditation. Yes, it helps them in better meditation, so they use it. This is called yoga mishra bhakti. You're doing bhakti, but you're taking some help from yoga. You're doing bhakti to do that bhakti only, not for other purpose. Not that I'm doing yoga to improve my concentration, to improve my health. Even then, if you say I'm doing it to improve my health, so that with a good health I can do bhakti better. So ultimately, it's all your aspiration, which Krishna knows what your aspiration is, why you want to have good health, why. But that is not your devotional service. That we should understand. And it is okay if you're using that. But if you want to do pure devotional service, you don't depend on anything else. You are fully convinced that if I do bhakti, I don't need to do anything else.
So when people do yoga and all those things, that is for the good health, so that we can continue.
Devotional service. Yeah, that's yoga mishra bhakti. You're taking help from yoga. Yeah. You feel that unless I do this, I won't be able to do bhakti properly unless I do this. If you feel like that, if that is your shraddha, or sometimes you may do it for other purposes. Sometimes pure devotees also do that because they want to attract those people who go for yoga. They want to attract them to Krishna consciousness, so they also go wearing the hat of a yogi to yoga clubs. But their idea is to catch them and bring them to Krishna. Sometimes they just open their own yoga studios, but they know in their heart. That's why Bhavagrahi Janardana. Krishna knows what your intention is, why you are doing what you're doing. So if your intention is you're showing everyone it's yoga, but actually in your heart you're thinking, I have to, right? I'll show them that I know all these yoga asanas and everything. They'll get attracted to it. And after they're into it, then I will tell them, Yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantarat atmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam samayukta tamomata. You want to be a yogi? The best yogi is a devotee. Here, chant Hare Krishna. These are the books. Cooking classes, they show, and then you vegetarian, become vegetarian, offer to Krishna. Like that. Gradually they want to bring them. So by that, sometimes devotees can do. That does not mean that they are doing yoga, therefore they are doing yoga mishra bhakti. Their intention, their faith is not in yoga. Their faith is only in bhakti. But to set example to others, set example means somehow or other bring them to bhakti gradually. They may do. Sometimes you may see them doing karma like businessmen or working in this world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, right? He didn't need, but he worked. Why? To set example to people, to bring them to bhakti. Like that, someone may be practicing some jnana, someone may be practicing some yoga. So really, the consciousness, Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vigyeha na bujhai, right? By learning, you'll never understand. And a learned person, being a learned person, you won't understand the activities of a Vaishnava. What is there in his heart? What is his intention? You won't, unless you are a Vaishnava yourself of that level, then you can detect, oh, external like Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Externally, he looked like a bhogi, right? With all silk clothes and nice scented oils, and he's chewing pan and spitting and all that. But what was his heart? Mukunda knew. Therefore, he started singing about Krishna. Immediately, he didn't care for all his opulences. He just started throwing everything here and there. He went into ecstasy. He started tearing his silk kurta and everything. Then Gadadhar Pandit thought, my God, this is a great Vaishnava. I did aparad to him. So that's why externally we won't be able to understand. So bottom line is, we should look at ourselves. We should not judge others. If you see others who are devotees, and if they are still doing some things like this, maybe they are doing it to set example for others. We don't know. But someone who is your equal or who is subordinate to you, you can certainly explain to them, there's no need of this. Or, you put all your energy into Krishna. And then if they are really, they don't have that much faith yet, they want to use that to help in Krishna consciousness, it's okay. But we should understand, according to definition, What is pure devotional service? What is mixed devotional service? Even if we are doing, all of us are doing mixed devotional service now. At some point, our aspiration is to come to pure devotional service. Why I am saying mixed devotional service? Because pure devotional service means 24/7 you are doing only bhakti, either through your body, words, or mind. You won't be doing anything else. Maybe some of us are. I don't know. I should not generalize like that. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. We went over time again. I'll stop here, and it's Monday. So you have work. I will end here. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you.